It's Sectional Saturday, and we've got highlights hot off the presses just waiting to be revealed. With Halloween right around the corner, the weather was frighteningly warm. Which team would bag a trophy? The Group 3 race was a real treat. Could Mendham pull off a trick? Or would Summit provide some spooky suspense? We know North Hunterdon has a monstrous team. Would it be enough to scare off the competition? In Group 2, it wasn't Friday the 13th, but there certainly were a lot of teams chasing Voorhees. Some winners ran like the course was haunted, and who could blame them? Didn't this place used to be a psycho ward? Fans got fired up. Coaches got fired up. This guy's fired up, and we've barely gotten started. So sit back and relax. No need to mask your emotions. We've got you covered on Cross Country Prime Time. Next! Hello everybody and welcome to a special edition of Cross Country Prime Time. I'm your host Chris Berman alongside Tom Jackson. We bring you the highlights from North Jersey Section 2, which of course was held at Greystone Park in Morris Plains, New Jersey. Lots of action to break down for you, but first, let's get you caught up with some of the other sectional meets around the state. In South Jersey, senior Peyton Shute from Gateway Woodbury Co-op captured his second straight sectional title with a commanding time of 15:09. Last year, he won by 30 seconds. This year, an even bigger margin. In the South Jersey Group 3 girls race, Ocean City sneaks past Mainland by a mere 3 points, final score 48-51. A true South Jersey shootout with the two teams essentially going back and forth. There were 4 lead changes before Ocean City's freshman Lillian Flora locked up the victory for the Red Raiders. OC junior Maeve Smith won the race in a time of 18:08. Back to our feature for today, North Jersey Section 2, and we start with the girls' Group 2 race, a classic, as we head to Greystone. Voorhees Lady Vikings trying to make it 3 in a row. Head coach Dave DeWolf, one of the best in the business, waiting intently at the starting line. The gun goes off and the runners are off. A bit warmer weather than we usually expect for this meet. How would it affect the performances throughout the day? We'll find out. Speaking of out, who's that out in front? It's Kira Chebyshev, a junior from Parsippany Hills, commanding the race like a true champion. But Mika Tampadong from Beckton High School says, now wait just a minute, I'm also in this race. Tampadong, a junior, first-year running cross-country after making the switch from volleyball, followed by another first-year cross-country junior, Lucinda Putnam, top runner from Bernards, who's having a marvelous first year so far, running alongside Voorhees lead runner Daphne Roskowski, who up until now has not competed in a race this season. But not to worry, she's a pro. And how about the team scoring? Well, let's see. Voorhees is looking pretty strong. Working together, it's the Wolf Pack, Tom, barreling on through. Yeah, if you look at the size and tight-knit closeness of the Voorhees pack, 6 girls only a few steps apart from one another, that's going to be tough to beat. And we'll see how the race unfolds, moving closer to the 2-mile mark now. Chebyshev still pushing the pace. She finished 7th in this race a year ago. Mika Tampadong still holding on to that second position. Speaking of Wolfpack, Addison Bray from West Morris Central moves into the 3rd spot. She's been the pack's top runner for the past 2 years. But it was Kira Chebyshev Camaro who was determined to make her mark in history as she turbocharges her way through the course. Mika Tampadong still trying to close the gap, keeping Chebyshev in sight. Tampadong, a fierce competitor, ran a 19:53 at Darlington Park a week prior to this sectionals race. Then it was Bray and Putnam taking names and putting them in their place, trying to lead their respective teams to the next round of the postseason. Followed by the hard-nosed sleuth Daphne Roskowski, first time ever running Greystone, and look at the toughness. Daphne, not Fred, Shaggy, or Velma, making big strides. Fans wondering what she can Scooby-Doo on this course. Coach DeWolf looking on saying, I think I like these corny cartoon jokes. Or maybe not, but I'll tell you what he does like. The Wolf Pack in full force, surging ahead like a big wave of crimson and gold, working together, trying to nail down that team victory. The team's been without star sophomore Lexi Mazzone all season. Senior Gabby Medea holding on to that pack, not giving up her spot for a moment. Fast forward now to the final quarter mile. It's Kira Chebyshev all by herself, on her way to becoming the first ever sectional champion female cross-country runner in the history of Parsippany Hills High School. The last boy runner from Parsippany Hills to win the title, you'd have to go back to 2004, Corey Edwards, who was actually teammates with the previous Par Hills individual champion, Jeremy Zagorski. A lot of really talented runners from Parsippany Hills in those early 2000s. Something of a heyday for them, but I digress. What's the history status for Beckton High School? Is this girl good or what? Tampadong really separating herself from the rest of the girls. Who would be next? It's Lucinda Putnam, the former tennis player now serving aces in the races as she backhand slices her competition and snags the bronze medal. Voorhees responds. It's Daphne Roskowski, the mystery machine's at full throttle as she powers through the final section of the course, paving the way for her teammates. And then it's Amy Lynch. Wow, did she have a great day, putting on the Jets late in the race. Tom? Yeah, take a look at the spot shadow on Amy Lynch right here. She's a senior, she's run sectionals numerous times before, knows how to finish strong and focus on the finish line. Well, it was a big move for Voorhees, especially with sophomore Emily Dennis just a few steps behind. Bernards quickly responds with two runners of their own in freshman Fiona Doherty and junior Ayla Johnson. Doherty, cruising her way to a new Greystone personal best, has been an excellent addition to the team this year. Johnson took 11th place overall, which marks the highest sectional finish of her career. But it would be the Viking 4, 5, 6 runners who would close the curtain. Lucy D'Alessandro, Rylan in the Sun Brennan, who says, when you're on a holiday, you run fast times like this. And senior Gabby Medea, whose 13th place finish was good enough for displacement. Not to mention they got another top 20 performance from junior Emmy Beard. In the end, it's Voorhees capturing its third straight sectional title. Keep in mind, Voorhees girls didn't compete at the sectionals in 2020 due to a COVID-19 quarantine. So it stands as a three-peat. Bernards takes second with a team average time of 21:52. It'll be interesting to see how they perform next week at the state championship, as they are certainly one of the best teams in Group 2 this year. Madison, whose top 4 runners finished only 37 seconds apart from one another, squeaks past Parsippany Hills and West Morris Central to round out the group qualifying teams. And, well, Tom, you think Voorhees is feeling a sense of validation after winning this race so handily? I mean, if you consider this is a team that hasn't been ranked in the top 20 for weeks now, what can we expect from them in the future? Well, you make a great point in that, yes, technically they've been unranked for several weeks now, but let's face it, we're talking about Voorhees here. If you know anything about this program, if you know anything about this particular group of girls, they know how to prepare well for a championship race. They compete in a tough Skyland Conference. They pick their battles. They set their sights on the bigger picture and ultimately show up for the races that count. And we've seen them perform well at this meet time and time again. It'll be interesting to see how the rankings are adjusted as they factor in the results from sectionals. Of course, nobody really cares about the rankings anyway. When we return, Noah Smith, looking more like Noah's Ark, built tough, but would he survive the flood of the Westfield Blue? Stay with us.